Greetings, family. This is Bomani Tamba, and we're live on Revolutionary Camp. I'm here with my good brother Kofi Bruce.
What's up? What's good?
Yes, and our good brother traveled with us in Ghana, October 2012 and 2014. Did you enjoy the journey of a lifetime?
Oh, I loved it. Can't wait to go back again.
Absolutely, family. And our brother has a chance to see the vision of what the real Wakanda is going to be like.
Yes.
So yes, family, we're here to talk about the Black Panther movie. And we're going to base things on my good brother here, a different perspective of the movie. Let me know what you want to start with as far as giving our people a nice, conscious review of the movie and recommendations.
I mean, from my perspective right now, is actually two different viewpoints when people think about the movie The Black Panther. One is like from a very emotional viewpoint, and the other is from a political viewpoint. So it's really two different explanations for the movie. You have a movie, and then people turn it into some kind of life-changing political event too at the same time. And it's kind of like merged in between. So I have a problem with one and not with the other. You know, as a movie, it's fantastic.
Excellent.
It's a great movie. I mean, great costume design, great acting. The story, it could have been a little bit better for my taste, but as a movie, it was fantastic. That's just from the first perspective. Then you have the people that watch the movie and they taking it as a life-changing event. Most of those people never even been to Africa before.
All right.
So they just like jumping on a hype that Public Enemy told us don't believe, and they just running with it. You know, that's why they putting on dashikis for like the first time ever. You know, they dressing in their African gear and they going down to see the movie, but they only looking at it from that shallow viewpoint as far as their emotions, you know, because what was fed to them. And movies are movies, and they all made for a purpose. But the bottom line is it's just made to make money. And a movie is nothing but something to elicit your emotion, to make you feel good. You know, you can have all the stories that you want involved in a movie, but the bottom line is it want to make you feel good, so you'll dish out money to go see it. So it's a movie.
It says business as usual.
It's a movie. I mean, you can't really add more to it. You can get inspired from the movie, but it's not a life-changing event because it's a movie made by Marvel Studios and Disney for the purpose of making money. So, you know, we just go from there.
Perfect. Were you excited when you saw it? You felt like a kid in a candy store again?
Not really, because I'm not really a big comic book. You know, I knew Black Panther like back in the day, you know, but I wasn't like a comic book geek or anything. But, you know, I always looked at it from it's make believe, you know, and I like to be on the side of true instead of make believe, you know, because I don't think I could go wrong with the truth. So I don't know. That's just my viewpoint.
Excellent. Link us with the other analysis and let us know how they all connect.
As far as like, you know, like everyone says, it was good seeing all those black faces with the African gear on from each part of Africa, representing different cultures within Africa. So from that standpoint, and the colors and the cinematography and everything, it was great. I had no problem with it whatsoever. It was a good, colorful, entertaining movie.
Excellent. Now, what do you say about the numbers? One of the top five grossing films of all times as far as weekend box office and as far as this other range of numbers.
That's all in marketing. I mean, whoever marketed the movie is a genius.
Absolutely. And the fact that so much black interest, you had black interest more than you had in other movies in general. You know, so it when I look at these things, and I'm always looking at how me and my business partners and my brothers can position ourselves to do business at a high level and use whatever flow of energy to make things happen. So we see that there's a market. We know we're the biggest. We're usually the ones that's put on the court, the field, or put in the movies to kind of project certain certain profits, I should say. That's one thing about us throughout the history of time. especially in this country, America. We've been the ones that have been used to really just put in a position to where folks can get paid from us. So now I'm seeing all of this, and I'm telling our folks, now I'm thinking about the movement we're making in Techiman in the Braunhofer region. We're looking to build family, our own community, move our own enterprise here from America and build it there in the land. And we have nothing but land around us. I mean, you can build theme parks, you can build all kind of things. You can build a whole new airport, and that's right in the center of Ghana, Techiman in the Braunhofer region. So you can look that up online. But what I even thought about, I was like, I'm like one of those people where where I realize that we have missed certain things, and I realize we have to really position ourselves,
Right.
and and position ourselves with other brothers and sisters out there that are doing great things, and be able to get get more of this money, I should say. We do see where white folks have monopolized the world in almost all the markets.
Right.
So it's like, we literally have to just create our own independent market. I even told some of my brothers that we have to go as far as this wonderful Sony 4K HD camcorder we're recording on, be able to make these things ourselves in our own factories in Africa one day. So I look at these things as, me and my crew, me and my brothers and sisters, we missed out. And yes, folks, most of us did go out, like myself and my little boy. We went out and made white folks richer, just like all other things that's in this business office called Bomani Technology in Africa for Africa's administrative operations. And it's what it is. But I'm one of them people that's not gonna just pick and choose what we're for or against when it comes to this making white folks rich. They've done what they've done, and they've put us in a situation where we're the consumers and we're spending.
Right.
And and then these they put a group of multicultural people in one room. As far as the marketing company that market these movies, and they just they just work the numbers and work the elements of things, and and this was what you're gonna come up with. You go into the factory and you just all right, I'm gonna create this epic, incredible black superhero that no brother or sister have ever seen in their life,
right,
with some of the best actors. And I wish I'd have put some money down on that, because
right,
ching ching ching. So, but yeah, family, that's what we're doing in Africa. We're doing a lot of wonderful things as far as looking to build our own Wakanda, or what my brother Keith talked about, the real Wakanda. And whenever we see movies like this, or whenever we even saw President Obama in office, we realized that was a smoke screen, and we also realized that things are going to be put in front of us to make us feel excited. And I'm all for the excitement. I'm a person that like fun, excitement, and we have great ventures on when we travel and do business. But I'm also saying that now that I've since I started becoming an entrepreneur when I was 27, and eventually just worked my way out of not working for anyone else, especially these wicked white devils that I've worked with in the past that were my supervisors and manager, when I was about 36, so literally about 4 years ago. But it's something that we have to really just learn from, and learn from all these things where things are put in front of us to get excited. And just back to what we talked about Obama,
right?
I'm not sure if you were excited, but a lot of people are excited in general. And it's one of those things where we're in a modern day 21st century.
Actually,
where you have the
I wasn't excited.
You weren't excited, but what about the people around you?
I had like an eerie feeling. You knew like something was in the air. I was like an oddball because just my nature and everything, something wasn't right.
Something was in there. What about the people around you though?
I mean, they just seen it as the peripheral view.
So they were like the zombies in the movie.
Right. So, they didn't analyze the whole entire situation. They just okay, first black president. Let's get happy.
But what was going on? Wasn't it a party, and wasn't it all kind of things happening?
Oh, it was this.
I'm relating this to what you mentioned about the Black Panther movie. And I'm also relating it to what basically you acknowledge as excitement. Even though you had a great time watching the movie, but you weren't excited as some folks.
Right.
You didn't put on all the stuff that you bought in Ghana, right?
I know, but I wear that anyway all the time. So I didn't wait for a movie premiere. So I actually didn't wear it on that day. Just because everyone else was. That's just me, but
but I'm linking it with that comparison to when the last time I saw brothers and sisters really excited. That was when Obama was first inaugurated.
Right.
That whole session, whole time, folks was remixing rap songs and all kind of things.
Right.
And how far did that get us?
But the bottom line is, no matter what your excitement, what happened? What actually took place? Like, what was the bottom line? Like, yeah, we all got excited.
I think it was like a feel-good 8 years.
And then what? Like, what did we get out of feeling good?
You just felt good.
Right. But guess what? We got right back into the same position. That's the cycle that we keep going on. We get excited. Nothing happened. We get excited about a lot of things. Most of the things we get excited about, somebody else told us to. Think about the marketing.
Good marketing. Exactly.
Think about the marketing for the Black Panther.
Right.
Over almost 2 years ago.
So this has been something you've been saying that's been working on.
Man, they've been pumping this in people's minds for 2 years.
Also, did you watch Civil War?
Right, I
Captain
did.
America?
Right, but I'm thinking this movie coming out like 6 months later. Right, because they kept pumping it and pumping it and pumping it, and people started talking about it. Like, before the movie actually came out, there was so much excitement built up for it that of course it was going to be an explosion. It was all the marketing. It was marketing.
And you probably got excited to where you wear the Black Panther suit at a Halloween party, right?
Some people
in
had.
2007.
Some
right?
people did.
In 2017.
Some people did. But I'm always looking at things from a critical point of view. So, I try and weigh both sides. If something seems too right to be good, all that good, guess what? It's not going to be. So you got to think about that sometimes. Like, people don't think when they use their minds, okay, this too good to be true. 9 times out of 10, guess what? It's not true. But we don't even think about that. We just think about that 1%. And all I'm saying is we just got to open our minds and think about the whole instead of just one small portion of it. And that's how we always get duped.
So perfect. So now the phenom that's going on now is the Black Panther movie excitement about Wakanda, which is a fictional African nation.
Right.
So you and I have talked about over the years about what Africa could have been without the colonial devils, sucking every single life aspect of the continent, and then stealing our folks, stealing our ancestors.
But you know how we got to that point where we are, that we can see that? Because we've seen the past.
Right.
We've been to the places and seen the examples of the true Wakanda. Wakanda in the Marvel Universe is a fake place, but Wakanda, the concept, the idea, actually took place on this earth. So, people just have to make the connection between fantasy and reality, because sometimes reality is stranger than the lie. The lie is just so hyped up and overblown, we should be able to catch what a lie is straight from when we hear it. But most of us, we close our minds to certain things that keep our mind open. So that's just how I view it sometimes. Yeah.
Excellent, fam. We're getting deep into the analysis of the Black Panther movie, phenom, the excitement of folks. So what we're doing is tying this with the other excitement that we have seen in our lifetime, because we have to base things on our lifetime, and is the Obama presidency, which at the end result, my brother basically saying, we just was just excited and we felt good. So he's basically saying, don't let this movie just make you feel good and excitement. Become a part of this, what we talk about always doing, connecting to the African continent, being a part of the future, so we can really see these things in our lifetime, really control our destiny,
right,
control
because we were so emotional.
All aspects of our economy. And we are emotional people. It's the reality of things. Like talk to my brothers and sisters that we have been enslaved, we have been colonized, we have been conquered by other races and nations of people, and we're building something for our generations to come, to let them not see that or think that they're hopeless. But we just don't want our generations to be stuck in those excitements from movies and excitement from fiction. So we always want to link with our brothers and sisters, let them know that there are many folks like us out there that are doing wonderful things. We're traveling to Africa. We're building international business enterprises. We're networking. We're looking to change the flow of what's going on in the world, especially the continent of Africa, and we're using it based on our research technology and this basing things based on what we've seen in a trend of America, to where we have been, we have been through different times after times. So, we've been to different movements after movements after movements. We had, we were enslaved on this, in this country, and then next thing you're dealing with Reconstruction, Jim Crow, you're dealing with segregation, you're dealing with, you're dealing with this bill, that bill, and at the end of the day, just like the excitement from this movie, where have it gotten us in America?
Right.
King was out there preaching, I had a dream and everything, and it was very inspirational. Right. And it makes you want to believe that was going to really happen.
People went to the March on Washington with the same excitement people ran to the theater to see Black Panther.
And then what happened with all these things? So we're trying to get to a point where, is it all we're going to be doing as Black African people, just being excited about everything, while other people are positioning themselves to get paid, to get rich, to monopolize off us, and put themselves in a position where now you see, and I have conversation with friends of mine that we grew up in New York City, and I don't live there no more. I'm there in ATL South, and places that I would never want to be. They have told me that white folks and companies have come in there and carve it out to set up to where it's like a metropolis into what we used to know as a hood in Brooklyn, New York.
Right.
And I'm like, if that's not a sign of the times for us to be able to think about what's going on in Africa and be a part of the future, I don't know what else, because you literally find yourself in Black America homeless to where you can't afford nothing, or majority of us can't afford to live in certain areas or certain communities or certain neighborhoods, whatever we want to call the places where some of us used to be or are populated with, but we don't own much of the resources and much of the decision that goes into these neighborhoods. So me personally, I'm and the crew that we built with, we're not gonna go back and forth and just trying to beg people and try to fight back and forth with us. We realize that we have a whole continent. This ain't about no fictional nation, in Africa called Wakanda. It's good that the continent Africa is mentioned. So I'm telling you that we are doing wonderful things on the African continent, and we're doing it for the purpose of we're not gonna survive here, and we're not gonna be able to handle the flow of how the white devils are gonna be able to dominate America.
Right.
The thing of it is, America is not theirs naturally. Just like in South Africa, the white devils are in South Africa that are getting removed from their land, removed from the land that they stole, or removed from land that been passed along to them, that did not belong to the people who passed along to them, and so on. And then the whole reappropriation, because we don't need to have a minority population, white folks, like 7 to 10%, if that, controlling 80% of land mass, or around that amount. So the incredible thing about it is, our people are standing up in South Africa, and they're taking over the aspects of a nation. In America, you are out of luck. Native Americans, and you're out of luck. Brothers and sisters who are enslaved, and generation of us has passed along to work and build this nation. So I'm also saying that some fights we're gonna have to give up, and some fights we're gonna have to put our energy into. And the African continent, building it for Africa for the Africans. All you brothers and sisters in America, Black brothers and sisters in America. That's your continent. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to fight for America and fight for Africa, so I recommend that we put more of our time into Africa. That's a true outcome, because we're at the point where, you white devils got to overstand. The continent of Africa is for Africans. That's what it is. Europe is probably not even supposed to be for Europeans, but people probably don't own anything on this land. But I'm willing to, as far as, me and my crew, willing as far as, you can have America and have Europe, and we're going to build up in our developing nations and do for ourselves. Our generation does not deserve a generation of this oppression. So, to the point where we have our oppressors giving us our superheroes and trying to confuse us. So that's why I tell people all the time, go watch the Black Panther movie, check it out, analyze it. Look at it in the way you have to look at it. We've done several reviews with different our conscious brothers and sisters, and we try to share with you different angles, and ultimately try to share with you to the point where we are conquered, dominated, enslaved, and colonized people, and this is what is done to, and that type of people. Other people push everything on you and suck your resources and use you as a consumer.
Right.
So everything that we move forward on has to be about self-reliance, self-determination, independence, and that's what we do in Africa, Ghana, and many other African nations, that we're looking to do wonderful things with our own brothers and sisters in the African continent. And we reach out to our warrior brothers and sisters in the African diaspora that have skills and talents that understand how to build all these incredible systems that we're going to build our own sustainable communities, where we provide all of our own resources as far as water, electricity, internet, food,
everything.
And there's everything you can think of, we don't have it. Even I was telling folks that we have enough land to build an incredible theme park.
Right.
Africa, for the Africans theme park.
Right.
The black man and woman theme park. The black family theme park. We can build something for ourselves. So that's what it's all about, family. So we gotta keep things strong. Anything you want to say in closing?
Yeah, just one last thing I want to say is that it's good, movies and everything are cool, and it's good to unwind and detach yourself from reality if you must, every now and then, but not at the expense of ignorance. So you just have to be aware of what you're consuming into your body, through your mind, through your mouth, through everything, because it will take effect on you. So my thing is just to think, keep it real. A movie is a movie. You can be inspired by a movie, but take that inspirement to reality. That's all I have to say.
Yes, family, my brother saying, do the real work. Let's build the real Wakanda in the African continent, so our children and children can have opportunities and somewhere they can call home, and a culture that they can say that they belong to.
Right.
Yes, stop going around with the hype of that African people on the African continent don't like you.
A lie.
What about what the white devils have done to our brothers and sisters? I live here in South Atlanta, here in Georgia, historical parts of where our folks are hanging on trees, not by Africans from the African continent, by white devil racist KKK America bastards. So, if you are willing, so you should never forget those things. And then, when you wanted this line, our brothers and sisters stole us, sold us, on the continent, it's not even that simple. You're dealing with, and that's when you're dealing with, white people are not, smart or geniuses. What they're doing is clever, wicked bastards.
Right.
The white devils that are part of that whole movement, and the ones that profit still today, that's what they are. They're clever. So the only way you can really deal with a clever, evil, wicked people, or a bastard, or a race of people, is for you to position yourself to be less dependent on these people. And in order for you to understand that, you have to go through the history of the things that we have been through. We have been through hell and back and hell and back. I put my life on it that no other race or nation of people could have survived what we have been through. That's how strong we are. We are the chosen people. We're meant to be here. Right. And that's the reason why other people try to wipe us out. Or you see the Asian invasion right now. They feel like they're going to use their capitalistic dollars and trade and their resources to build industries and try to take over. But it doesn't matter. No weapon or no whatever you want to form is going to take over the African continent. It's as you can see, we've been through the worst of the worst, and all we're looking for now and looking towards now is the best of times as we build our real Wakanda, right, brother?
There you go.
Yes, my youth. Real Wakanda, yo,
See you
family.
next time.
You know what I'm saying? Stop imagining and let's get this work going. Let's get this building going. Now we're always here in Ghana every May. Building on the land called the Africa for the Africans Repatriation Community, a real community that we're looking to dedicate to the future of our people, to where we can go out there and do all the work and build all these communities and be there on a 24/7 basis to answer your technical support calls and all your business calls and all the things we need to handle, to be able to let you know that we are working in the efforts consistently to make sure that we build a home for our people, because we are soon to be a homeless people in America. And number 45 is a fucking trip, man.
Let's say that for part 2.
It's unbelievable, man. Yeah. How can they make the senior citizen bastard?
Let's say that for the next part.
Country, this economy.
We'll be right back.
Unbelievable, family. Yes, family. Keep it strong.
Yeah.